Ben from Painting on Phones. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm gonna show you a little piece I painted on the iPhone the other day. You can see it well this way. It's just a very simple landscape, but it shows some basic principles of building up some depth and everything. So let's switch over to Procreate. I loaded the whole thing into Procreate on the iPad just to make it kind of easier to talk about it. And before we go into depths, let's just quickly run the time lapse. So as you can see, it's a fairly simple start in the background, really just building up some feeling for what it's gonna be, and then jump right into the back and the foreground, and from that it's kind of back and forth between foreground, midground, and background. Eventually going into some more details on the bottom left, and usually the last thing I do is add the colors here. Right, so that's pretty much it. That was like a 30-minute piece, and let's take a closer look here. Now if we look at the layers, let's have a quick look at the layers here. As you can see, it's fairly simple. It's really just the foreground here, the background, and the sky, and then there's a colors layer as well. We're gonna get back to that later, but I would say that's like the minimum setup of layers I would have. So have the sky separated, at least the foreground separated from the background, so it's easier to make changes there. Might have a more complex piece, another layer for the midground, but that's pretty much it. And also you might see that the background color usually start with a mid-gray, just to have the lights pop out easier later, and the real dark areas be more have more contrast. Now if we go back to the replay, I'm just gonna go through it a little bit slower than before, and like I said, I kind of like to start with a mid-range gray in the background, and then like when I begin, usually I kind of start with a blob. See, this is really just some color strokes, some brush strokes here, and then I kind of smear it and then see where I get to. You know, if I kind of start to shape it out and it feels like some bushes in the background, then feels like it needs a tree and some branches and stuff. And then there's a point where it kind of clicks in the eye, and I add some more darker colors to kind of shape out the whole thing. And that's actually a point where I'm quite happy with it. I jump over to the foreground there, again just like a bold stroke, get a feeling of where it might lead me, starting to kind of shape out the whole thing, block in some more colors, smear around a little, and it's the point where it feels like there's actually two layers here, and there's little, I don't know, stream or so going through it there. This stage, that's probably when I kind of get a feeling of the whole scenery and like how it might end up. So this is really kind of key to my process. It's kind of starts with the doodling, or just dabbing in some areas, and then I have to be constantly be on the lookout to kind of see once something happens there. Like at this point, the whole thing has already come quite far, and I can go into details there on the lower right hand side and create a little house, some kind of structure there that makes it more interesting. Now you might have realized that most of the painting was actually done in black and white, or in grayscale, and I showed you the color layer before. Let me just disable it, and you see it's just a tonal piece that I do, and I like to do this a lot. Just mostly work in like in grayscales, just to create some good tonal values there. And then just add the color by another color layer. And let's take a closer look at the color layer. Actually, it's as you can see, it's here we are. It's its own blend mode, and it's on color blend mode. We just go to normal and raise the opacity. You see, it's quite a wild, yeah, kind of color boost in there. What the color, where is it again? The blend mode colors does is kind of overlays the colors you create without kind of changing the tonal value. So that's a very easy way to, just add some colors there. And if you change the opacity, it's also kind of tune it to your own taste. And it's really very simple. But let's say I have a more dramatic sky here. Maybe I'll change brush to this, and you can see it's really easy to change the whole mood of the piece. Just remember to kind of blend the colors in here. We're just working on the colors layer right now, and see how easy it is to just change the whole mood of the piece. Maybe it's a bit more greenish down here. And just smear the whole thing here. It's a bit too strong for my taste here, so maybe I'll just use the opacity. And this way you can easily kind of, play around with colors. You can always turn it off. Go back to the black and white piece or the grayscale piece. Just turn it on again. And there you go. It's very quick and rough landscape study with some colors in there. Hope you enjoyed this. See you again on the next tutorials. This was Ben from Paintings on Phone. Thanks for supporting me on Patreon. Bye bye.